about. They trying to play you, trying to say to you, you don't know who you really are. Block out the madness of love's a habit. Every queer kid is a star. No turning back now. Don't look over your shoulder. The hardest part is over. No turning back now. One foot in front of the other. It feels so good when you let love take over. Let love take over. Daddy not call you by your name, disrespect it now, they do the same. If one of us is bound, none of us are free. Equality's not destiny. No turning back now. Don't look over your shoulder. The hardest part is over. No turning back now. One foot in front of the other. It feels so good when you let love take over. Let love take over. Do it, baby, strut on now. 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 Now do it, baby, strut on now. Do it, baby, strut on now. Now do it, baby, strut on now. Do it, baby, 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 now. Let love take over. Ask girls, oh, what you prefer? You hesitate to say you're into him and her. Trapped in your own body from the inside out. Got your own tribe shit and what you're about. They trying to play you, trying to say to you, you don't know who you really are. Block out the madness of love's a habit. Every queer kid is a star. No turning back now. Don't look over your shoulder. The hardest part is over. No turning back now. One foot in front of the other. It feels so good when you let love take over. Let love take over. Daddy not call you by your name, disrespect it now, they do the same. strut on now, do it, baby, 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 strut on now, now do it, baby, strut on now, do it, baby, strut on now, now do it, baby, strut on now. Do it, baby, 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 now. Let love take over.
All right. Welcome to another episode of the Afro Sensei Show. I am Afro Sensei, your host, of course. Guess we'll get into a little bit of tea with me. Well, first of all, I guess happy July. May through June, of course, Pride Month's over, but of course, Pride 365. So, still want to celebrate and fly your rainbow flag. Feel free to. But yeah, it's July now. Guess a little what's going on with me this week. A little busy. Suppose just working on some new music. Of course, still promoting the new, current single, Super Califragilistic, featuring Day Night, that came out June the 18th. But the music video should be out soon. So if you've been kind of following me on Instagram, hopefully, if I've been doing the whole theme is 70s glamour, house party chic, and so the video should be coming out within, I would say, next week or so. And it'll be a fun thing to watch. And also the remix will be coming out soon, later this month, probably on the 16th. Still got a kind of a house party vibe to it, but I think it's a bit more early 80s, mid 80s vibe to it. Still kind of that throwback sort of vibe to it. So that's going on. And also preparing for the next video, which is going further back in time to the 50s, for a song called Little Waves, which is a little bit slower, a little more chill pop, I would call it. So that would be out, I would guess, toward the end of this month, early August. So, and it's getting closer to the release time for the album. If you didn't know, the name of the album is called BGC, which is Black Gay Chat, the acronym, which, back in the day, that was the website. I heard since it's been shut down, but if you know, you know. So that will be coming out towards the end of August. So it's been a long release since January. A lot of singles, a lot of videos, but it's been really fun and just going through this whole process. So especially coming out of the worst of quarantine, what's still going on. So, but anyway, tonight, because we got a bunch of videos by the first array of artists, we got Alice and Case the Killer, love that name. Charlie Exile, it's Charlie Exile. We got, of course, our big interview for tonight is Joe Work, who's an artist based out of Atlanta. I played his video before on a previous show, In My Feelings. It's a two-part interview where he talks about, his basically how he came up in the Atlanta music scene. I'm sorry, my voice cracked a little bit. The Atlanta music scene. Also just sort of the ups and downs of being an out artist in 2021. His current music, what he's working on, all that stuff. So that'll be a two-part interview tonight. First one we had in a few episodes, so I think you'll really enjoy it too, because he's really great to interview. Also, some more artists we got is a Wild Black, great artist, like indie pop artist. We got Unspoken Views, like rap artist. Jay Saint, kind of, I would say, it's Afro house, that sort of vibe to it. So, we have Eli Liberty with Drippy, which is a great dance video. I think you really enjoy that one. So really cool lineup tonight, diverse lineup tonight. But also, topic wise, Shit, it has been a week. We got some things to talk about. So first things first, and just trigger warning for anybody that's so from like any sort of abuse or sexual assault. Just maybe just click out for a second, click back in. If you are aware, Bill Cosby was released this week from prison. Not on its own technicality, as I was watching a video from another sort of I guess you would call her like a blogger and internet a social critic. I would say that's the best better term for Harriet Kimberly. She runs that blog and that YouTube page. She was talking about how the case wasn't released on technicality, but basically just it was released because the prosecution uh, made in '05 made a deal with him to get his testimony or get his deposition where he admits, basically, roofing women up with these pills. Um, and in exchange for him testifying, in exchange for him giving his story, they agreed not to prosecute him, ever. But when the new people came in for the prosecution, they decided to use that deposition to as evidence against him and bring a criminal charge against him, which they couldn't because he had already been promised that it would not happen. So that's why he got out, basically. And that's a short version of it. You want to hear the long version, you can go online and look up some reputable sources. They can probably explain it more detail. Um, but basically, all that is to say that what happened was legal, but in my opinion, it wasn't right because as Aunt Viv told Felicia Rashad, get to her in a minute. Everybody knew what's going on back in the day, but nobody spoke on it because he was very powerful, very rich in Hollywood, a very powerful figure in Hollywood, and nobody wanted to go against him. Obviously, especially very women who were very vulnerable, and so that's why when that's why it happened. That's why when I checked all these many years, so even though he's out, he's a rapist. So fuck him, in my opinion. I mean, Cosby Show, still a great show for what it represented and what it still represents in terms of the family, different world, great show. But the man himself, yeah, pretty terrible, And it is very ironic that I see a lot of some rappers and guys who who are more rough around the edges, I guess you could say, like Snoop or whoever, like kind of caping for him at certain points. Not sure if he feels that way now, but it's weird that they would do that because back up until very recently, even now, maybe he would not have done the same for them. Because he was Bill Cosby was like the king of respectability politics of put up your pants and don't wear the grills in your mouth and don't talk that slang, just very much a lot of this, especially the older he got. And so it's ironic that so many of those same guys would come out and trying to lay down on their swords with him when he probably wouldn't have done the same for them if it was on the other foot. But yeah, so there's that. And of course, like I said, getting to Felicia Rashad, which if you watch Cosby Show, you probably love Felicia Rashad like I do as an actress and her presence and everything like that. Of course, she's Debbie Allen's sister. And, they're very great and talented and elegant women. But sad to say, in this case, she was dead ass wrong too because she came out. Well, it wasn't the first time, but this is the most recent time after he was released. She tweeted this thing saying that a grave a miscarriage of justice has been righted, paraphrasing. And she basically expressing gratitude that he was out. Which when Janet Hubert, aka Aunt Viv, came in and said like, "Girl, what the fuck are you talking about?" He's been doing this. Everybody knew he was doing it. So why are you basically sitting up for this man again? Because back in 2015, she also was like, talking about what's happening as the destruction of a legacy and basically implying there's some conspiracy afoot to destroy, a powerful black man, which is the whole, if you open your conspiracy theories on online, a big thing at the time, or people continue to say, is that he was trying to buy NBC, and that's why they decided to take him down. Which that's a long that's a long game to play if you start back in '92 when he was trying to buy NBC and they came back in 2015 with it. Like 23 years is a long time to wait on somebody. But anyway, so she said that, and of course she got backlash from not only people online but also like former Howard alums and people connected to the university saying, how can you say this when you're going to be a dean in charge of these students, and can they come? Would they feel like they'd be able to come to you if there's issue with sexual violence or sexual assault, things like that? If you have this is the opinion you have, which is a valid thing to say. Now they haven't called for her to be just. I don't think she won't be stepping down that I know of, or she has been fired. But still, that's one of those moments that gives you pause, like it's one thing to stand for her and rewatch episodes, and watch her go from Vanessa to having big fun with the wretched. But it's a whole other thing when she talks about, defending the man who was obviously, you know, guilty. I mean, allegedly, because he hasn't been tried, so allegedly, for my lawsuit, just saying, allegedly. But someone who there's a lot of smoke there, basically, and it takes a lot to have just it takes a lot at this point to just ignore that, the obvious evidence. Um, and so it is a sad week in sitcom land, but there's difference between people on screen and people in real life. I think we've all kind of had to uh, grow up to that fact, not just with Cosby, but with other people from our childhood. So there's that. Um, but yeah, I think, who know, basically, as far as he is concerned, I think he's pretty much done. I saw some news uh, earlier today that said I think he was trying to plan, I think doing like a documentary or go on a road. I'm like, are you in a alternate universe? Because in this universe, people are gonna like used to rapes, some women. That's what people think of you, And so like post OJ, like try to act like act like nothing was wrong after he just got acquitted. Like, oh hey, that's done. Okay, next thing. Like, no, that's not quite how it works. Because you may have been, acquitted in OJ's case, but public opinion is still public opinion. And public perception of you is that you like to drug people. I mean, you know, facts are facts, or alleged facts are facts. To paraphrase Monique Hart. So there's that. And of course, that was a big thing this week. Of course, another story this week that really took over at least my timeline today, and it's still taking over, is Sha'Carri Richardson. You know her; she's like the 21-year-old track phenom, I guess you could say, who qualified for the Olympics recently. She had the wild mane had wild hair color going and was flowing in the wind and had the lashes and everything, and everybody was cheering her on, and she was really like she really was like made like a strong impression going into the Olympics. Of course, now that's in jeopardy because she thinks she has like a month suspension now because she tested positive for weed. You know, now okay, this is going to be some layered thoughts about this. Um, First, I don't think weed should be considered. I think weed should be. I don't think it should be banned in terms of the in general. But in terms of the Olympics, I would say it shouldn't be banned because it's not. It's obviously not a performance enhancing drug. I mean, aside from the fact it can reduce anxiety and then maybe it can help a bit with joint inflammation. I know that's. But in terms of really like, it's not steroids. It's not HGH. It's not that. So that's the first thing. You know, and that said, I know a lot of people. I see a lot of people online, posting memes of like her on one side and Michael Phelps on the other side and saying keep that same energy. But let's pause for that for a second because what happened with Michael Phelps is, he got caught. He didn't get caught failing a test. He got caught smoking a picture of him smoking surface, smoking a blunt or whatever, or maybe doing a bong. I forgot which it was. And then from that, then he got suspended for like I think like 3 months, and then he like lost like millions, like tens of millions of dollars in sponsorship deals, and it was severe consequences. So we don't want her to have that energy. I think what people are saying is they want. I think what people are saying, at least what I'm interpreting as, they want that extend the same empathy to this young black girl that she did to this to this white man that's also an Olympian, and which you should because the reason she gave, if you watch her interview on Today Show this morning, which I did, she was very straightforward and very like she didn't try to really play any of the blame game or she was very just straightforward and honest, just saying I was broken up because my mom just died and I found out the way she found out her mom died was that a reporter told her, so it wasn't a family member, which is doubly fucked up, so it's like I was all confused and my wishes were all over the place, and this is what I did, I knew what the rules were, but I did it. So it's unfortunate. I don't think we should. Athletes have done a lot worse and still been allowed to to do compete. But feel how you want to feel about it. These are at this point in this time, these are the rules. And she tested positive, and so she'll be out for the month, and she'll be able to come back. I think maybe towards the end of the Olympics, midway through, but she won't be able to run in her signature event, which is like the 100-yard dash, I believe. So she's young. She made a mistake. I definitely think she can come back and 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 dominate as she probably would have this go around, but uh, it happens basically. Now, of course, the I guess you call it the additional controversy. If you've been following any of the LGBT timelines or maybe any of your friends today, apparently some older tweets or not so older tweets were found. 2 tweets in particular were found of hers that have ignited its own controversy in terms of her attitude. One was back in 2015, where she tweeted something to the effect of, if you're a guy and wear pink, you should die in a pit, because that's gay, basically. It's a paraphrasing, but that's the gist of it. And the other one was back in March about Lil Nas X, saying if you support Lil Nas X, I think unfollow her or something like that. Now, my interpretation, first tweet, obviously a terrible thing to say, a horrible thing to say, but unlike Kevin Hart, she was an actual child when she tweeted this. This was in 2015, so she's 21 now. She would have been about 14, 15 maybe. Like I said, it's a terrible thing to tweet, but at the same time, knowing that she is also family, maybe I'm guessing, and this might be probably projecting some of my own history onto her, maybe just a bit. But at that age, I know for myself, I was deeply closeted and also had some very ignorant opinions, particularly about trans people that I don't have now. And so I'm assuming, in a way, I'm assuming she may have taken a similar journey as far as being conflicted about her own sexuality or confused. And like now, I think she has a girlfriend now, and she's probably a bit more settled in her identity. And so I'm willing to hear her out and have her explain those things, or just even chalk it up to she was very young and she's probably has a bit more like experience now, and she's probably and she doesn't feel the same way now. I would hope not, but I would like to hear an explanation from her about that. Lil Nas tweet, I would say that was back in March. I'm thinking that could be referring to the Satan shoes that he put out after he put out Call Me by Your Name, because if somebody's, it doesn't bother me, but I'm a heathen, so whatever. But but if you are very religious, I can see how maybe that could rub you the wrong way, and that may have turned her off, and she may have just tweeted that and not given the full context of her statement. So, but if you feel differently, you want to say, girl, I don't care anymore. I'll release you to the winds. Then that's your right too. So that's my take on the whole thing. So hopefully she can explain all that and clean all that up. And as far as Olympics go, she can compete in things. She can compete in events that she still has time to compete in after the suspension is over with. And in 2020, I would say 2024 because it was canceled last year. So in 2024, she can, hopefully she can come back, and dominate, and maybe the rules will change in terms of as far as weed goes, or she can just, hopefully, abstain until it's time for the Olympics, and dominate and win. So that's my thoughts on it. So woo, okay, done. All right. That's a long explanation, or I felt like one. Anywho. So let's say we got a bunch of videos tonight. We got an interview tonight. If you're in the chat, hopefully some more folks will join us pretty soon. Maybe it's 4th of July weekend, so people probably traveling and shit. I'm not. I'm here. But if you ain't shared live, share with your friends, tweet out, whatever. So let's get to our first video of the night. And this first video I came across on LGBT. I think I came across it possibly on Q Reviews, or either that or the Weekly Top 40, which is a great site on IG. This is a video, a collaboration, if you will, for the song Wig. This is Alice featuring Cakes the Killer, live that name, both names actually. Let's get into that video first. This is Alice featuring Cakes the Killer, and this is Wig.
Yes, bitch, pull my hair, it ain't going anywhere.
Move, bitch, get on my way. Get on my face. Get on my way. Get on my face. Bitch, get on my way. Get on my face. Pose for a flip. Snatching a wig. I be in top place. I took in lowercase. I rather push it a Rari. Then I rather dig like a Tara. Diamonds dancing around my neck. He on his knees, yeah, he blessed. I name my unicorn Polly, cause she be stuck in all the pockets. We be on sci-fi, body all got like pussy on Klondike. He wanna taste. He be on tea tree, lay like a Kiki. I only beat on the face. Ask for my surgeon's digits. 1-800, know your business. Told him I only wanna fuck in the back of the Brinks truck. Move, bitch, get on my way. Get on my face. Get on my way. Get on my face, bitch, get on my way. Get on my face, pose for a flick. Snatching the wig,
Why you feeling so lusty?
Yes, bitch, pull my hair, it ain't going anywhere.
Move, bitch, give me some room. Guess who back in the booth? Me and the lust came to do what it do. No funds for the fees, and I'm chucking the deuce. I don't show my face for the free. Playing on my line, better tighten up your leash. Wasting my yacht like I learned from Khalees. Trying to fill on my body and creeping my sheets. Too pretty, baddest in the city. Bout that bread, cause we get to the dough. Eyes on my prize, but my legs don't divide. Begging for a test drive, it's a no go. MVP with a new technique. Seen a couple hard rocks trying to shine like me. Eat off my plate, trying to sip off my tea. Don't need a cosign when I'm freaking on the beat like.
move, bitch, get on my way. Get on my face, get on my way. Get on my face, bitch, get on my way. Get on my face, pose for a flick. Snatching the wig,
Yes, bitch, pull my hair, it ain't going anywhere.
All right, and we are back. That was Alice featuring Cakes the Killer with Wig. I keep saying Wig, like it seems like hearing Wig. I think Nene Licks, like, come on, Wig, kind of a throwback at this point. But yeah, that was a collaboration between them for the track Wig. A few facts about both of them. Cakes the Killer, American rap artist. He fuses hip hop, house, EDM. He came into prominence with the queer explosion of hip hop music back in 2012 in New York. He's currently based in Atlanta. His latest release is called Motherland, a hip house EP. It was released back in November 2020. So that's a little bit about him, a little bit about Alice. She's based in America as well. She's a singer-songwriter, musician, and producer. Her first big release was called Ordinary Girl. She also does like a lot of mashup videos at her home studio, basically, and covers on her YouTube channel. And then she's also has a remix of Megatron, and also mashed with No Frauds, Change It, and also Regretting Your Tears. A few more facts about her. She also Wig was on a Pride Month, so which makes sense. So there's a few facts about them. Like I said, great track. You can follow both of them on IG. So really great song. Yeah, really good video too. So I love videos, very colorful. I like the use of shadows and colors and things like that. So definitely. Let's see. Another topic for this week. Like I said, it's pretty news heavy week. Pop culture and serious news. On the lighter side, the BET Awards were this past Sunday, hosted by Taraji P. Henson. And I will say, they really stepped it up visually. BET Awards. Just look at this. There's still social distancing. Because still not totally back to normal. But the staging, the way the stage was set up, the way the performances were very elaborate. The way that they were shot was very elaborate. Like her performance in particular, when she came down from the ceiling with the drum set, and then the camera like panned around at one point, like 360 degrees while she played guitar. That was a great one. Megan Thee Stallion, good performance. Jasmine Sullivan and R.A. Lennox, strong performance of "Sit on It" from Hotel. Is a great song. Nasty song, but also kind of funny at the same time. So if you like nasty funny, that's your thing. Then that's your song. Of course, Queen Latifah got her Lifetime Achievement Award. Tribute to her by MC Lyte, Moni Love, and Lil' Kim. They did a few of our songs. They did Ladies First, and they did UNITY. And which one? I forgot. MC Lyte did one song. I forgot which one she did though. I want to say she did. Damn. Okay, can't remember what she did. I think she joined Kim. I think for UNITY. I think it's basically what she did. And if you were paying attention to Latifah's speech afterwards, she pulled a Jodie Foster and Loki came out at the end. At the very end, she said hello to her love. I think Ebony, I guess it's her wife's name or her girlfriend's name, and to their daughter, and she said Happy Pride at the end. So I was like, what? I had to watch that twice. I was like, yeah, you watched it? Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I was like, what? Okay, okay. They're late than never, but everybody in their own time, but yeah, that's some of the highlights of Cardi B. Feel that she was pregnant, as only Cardi B would, by dipping it low with a full belly, shall we say? with child, you know, as one does. So that was memorable. Memorable and not so great way to me, just me, was the baby's performance. It was like he got off his chair, he got out of his seat, and then it was like basketball players like doing Harlem Globetrotter shit, and like he lifted in the air and he came down and it was like a big old and it was like a classroom. Then he like sat down and it was like it felt like a 5-year-old's you know like a parent gave a 5-year-old every wish they wanted for their birthday, and it just came out all at once. Like it was just like it's just like what is happening on stage? Like it's like, oh, he did. Oh yeah, I saw it. He memed as an owl. Yeah, he did. It was shady. I mean, she did look a little, like a little whoo. But I mean, but she had a good comeback though. She said, that wouldn't affect me. She said, you still pressed because like I wouldn't go out with you back in the gap. So, bloop. But that's so yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Kim. Yeah, but yeah, the baby's performance was a little chaotic, kind of was like like what is going on stage, and it was over. So yeah, that was that. Taraji was a good host. I mean, she had she went through like about 10,000 costume changes and some. She had some good bits. Her Erica Badu was really funny, especially, and also very good. A good point of show. That's when she with the Method Man's fine ass, and for him a little bit, which I don't blame her for doing that at all. Speaking of him, like I mean, I know he was on stage playing tributes. DMX. That was another great moment in the show as well. I think they did it. They picked the right people for that. Because they had Michael K. Williams do Slippin', and I think Busta Rhymes did a song, and then of course Method Man opened it doing acapella, which showing off them biceps. I'm just saying. So that was another good highlight. Who else? I'm trying to think who else. It was a pretty long show actually. Megan Stallion won a few awards. Her won a few awards. Jasmine Sullivan won an award, which she deserved. I think who else? That's pretty much it, I think. Like I said, very good. I think it visually was very good. It was entertaining. For the most part, had some good performances. Some of them like, I forgot. Lil Nas X. Yes, some people keep. I noticed there's some debate on the line about because some blogs were saying, oh, he paid homage to MJ and his performance. Some people were like, well, he didn't do nothing. That wasn't an MJ thing. I'm like, well, it kind of was because he literally stopped in the middle of the song and like recreated the choreography from Remember the Time. Like his song stopped, another beat kicked in, the Remember the Time, the big breakdown part, and they literally like did the choreography. Now, was it Michael quality? No, but Michael was Michael. So that's a hard bench to hop over. But obviously it was Michael. And of course you had the whole Egyptian theme, which I love how he destroyed the whole Hotep fantasy by kissing a man at the end. So that was definitely a highlight that got people. That was a water cooler moment as as they would say back in the Gap. Yeah, like overall, I think it was a good award show, entertaining, for the most part. So yeah, I'm sure they're rerunning it. If they're not rerunning it, you could probably pull it up, on demand if you wish to watch the whole thing through. So there's that. So, but yeah. And then real quick, right before the show, actually, I just learned that sadly, or depending on how you feel about it, there will not be a season 2 of Lovecraft Country. So, womp womp. At least to me, anyway. Well, I'm on the fence about it because on the one hand, I feel like there was some more life in the show, maybe not in a linear narrative, like where they just pick up right where they left off, but in the sense that it could be almost like American Horror Story, where it's like a totally different story every season. Like this particular story has ended with season 1, but you could have you could bring the same actors back, have them in different roles, and then add some new people in, and it could be like say like American Horror Story, just like a totally new take on the material every season. But on the other hand, first season was, for the most part, first season was so strong and it was so good that maybe they thought, well, that's like what we could do with the material and with this interpretation of the original source material. So that's a wrap. In which the Watchmen did the same thing. So I think for that show that was kind of the right decision. So either way, but so slight disappointment, but also maybe it's also good that they kind of left it alone because second season it could have been for every I think for every Atlanta in terms of a second season, it could also be a True Detective if you know your prestige television because first season of True Detective was great, second season was like because they tried to do too much in my opinion. Anyway, so let's get back into our next video of the night. All right, so this is another artist came across on Top 40 Weekly. If you're not following that page on IG, please follow. It's a great resource and great page for LGBTQ artists, particularly Black LGBTQ artists. This artist, this track, the name of it, it's not family friendly shit with safe, so I have to go ahead and just spit it out. This is Charlie Exile with Pussy Cunt. So let's get into that. This is Charlie Exile with Pussy Cunt. So, here we go.
Exile potion. Exile to kill, exile to murder. If you drink this drink, all insecurities will be killed. All the stereotypes that the world has put on you will be killed. You will kill closed minds. Made with sugar, spice, everything nice, and just a dash of chemical exile. This drink will give you the freedom to simply be yourself.
Living life, give him con. Shining like diamonds, you stun. Stack your coins up in the mornings up. Living in the nowhere, nobody care to stare. When you give him con. Pussy cunt, pussy cunt. Pussy girl when they lick it like that. Kitty cat with a tag, give him pussy on her bag. Miss Pussy got a cig in a fag. Pussy ain't come with a knife in her bag. Waiting for a tray with a 4 number. Don't know his name, but he said his cucumber. Give him money, big sum for the rent. Getting in that pussy, leaving out with the dent. Treat a good first lady, he done Mr. President. Trade with no con, hood sweet and innocent. Pussy con, give him pussy con. Pussy con, what she giving? Pussy con, give him pussy con. Pussy con, what she giving? Pussy con, give him pussy con. Pussy con, what she giving? Pussy con, give him pussy con. Give him pussy con. Give him pussy con. Yeah, getting to assist, getting to this B sis. It's a hit, not a miss. I see you on the wrist, boom shaka like a TT Dawn. Be so foreign, Paris, Hong Kong. Be so cunt, be so pussy. Thick in the hips, bone strong, fat cushy. Sissy, it's a sissy. Bills are paid, princess is prissy. Cunty in the night, dabble in the light. Picking when to fight, fuck a deal type. Cheating on his wife. Too pussy, too cunt, pussy too tight. Too pussy, too cunt, pussy too tight. What you giving, what you giving? Hit the scene, I'm ready, I'm willing. I'm dressed in all Gucci, I'm living. I don't want your man, I'm chilling. Yeah. Pussy con, give him pussy con. Pussy con, what you giving? Pussy con, give him pussy con. Pussy con, what you giving? Pussy con, give him pussy con. Pussy con, what you giving? Pussy con, give him pussy con. Give him pussy con. Give him pussy con. Yes. I'm just living my life. It feels so good. It feels so right. Take my hand, let's take a trip. We're going far, it will be lit, yeah. Pussy con, give him pussy con. Pussy con, what you giving? Pussy con, give him pussy con. Pussy con, what you giving? Pussy con, give him pussy con. Pussy con, what you giving? Pussy con, give him pussy con. Give him pussy con. Give him pussy con. Yeah. And for those of you who do not know, to be queer is to be same gender loving and not giving a fuck. We are not strange or odd. We are actually quite unique. The uniquest of mankind, and we are beautiful. What you giving? I give pussy cunt. All my shit real, cause I never been a stunt. I move to this money as I smoke on a blunt. If you wanna be my nigga, pay my bills for a month. I know I look good, bitch, you don't have to tell me. Keep my name out your mouth, you don't have to sell me. Walk in the club, all these late girls around me. Tryna find me, girl, Google me, then you found me.
Charlie Exile with Pussy Cunt. Like I said, not for the kids in terms of the title, but definitely a bop for the summertime. for your pussy cunt activities. So yeah, a few facts about Charlie. He's described himself as a psychedelic hip hop rap artist. So open your minds to sectors of defined feminism and unexplained masculinity until your soul is free, like that. So he came on the scene in June 2017 for his first single, "Not That Girl." Then again in that August, we submitted a music video to the single. He also released the second single, "Better Work," in that September. He plans to release another single, and video after the video. Basically, he won't stop to reach the top. Basically, world domination is in order for Charlie. So definitely find him on Instagram and follow him. Definitely, in your face and colorful as one is and one should be. If that's your steez, basically. So that was Charlie Exile Pussy Cunt. Say that one more time. Let's see what else is going on this week. That was pretty busy. Actually a Britney update. Following Britney Spears' conservatorship drama. Terrible situation. She gave her statement in court or in a hearing about it. Basically saying, she's living like a slave, like a better word, because she goes out and she makes money, and they tell her when to tour and tell her where to be and tell her where she can go with her boyfriend, which now tell her if she can have a baby or not, which is really horrifying. That whole IUD, that she can't get out of her body. And now that she testified, of course that confirmed a lot of people's fears about what's really been going on with her. Unfortunately, her dad was not removed as a conservator of her estate, but the firm that is handling it has resigned, saying because they said they weren't aware of what was going on. So they've stepped back and said, well, we're not doing that anymore because we didn't, we know she was unhappy with it. And so that's an upside to it. Another, nothing to say except it's a horrible situation, and hopefully, she can eventually live as an actual adult and control her own money that she's been making for everybody else, and get to live her life as she wants to. So, there's that. A little follow up on last episode's talk. Last time I was here, we were speculating about Madonna's Pride and Surprise, which turned out to be a show at the Boom Boom Room in NYC. Basically, she came out. They had a group of Voguers that did like a little routine to Vogue, and she came out and with her new wig and tits up, of course, as one should have. And then she performed. I think she performed "Hung Up," and she did a remix of "I Don't Search, I Find" from Madam X. So, and I, of course, I wasn't invited, but I did watch it. I liked the performance. It seemed like she was kind of, I think London last tour she was on, she was having some issues with, I think she was in pain because of her hip. Of course, now it's been fixed. So she seemed like she was coming back to herself, and she seemed like she was having a good time, and, working the crowd and on the bar and, drinking and, talking that shit. So, so it seemed like she was like back in her element, and of course the event also raised money for organizations. I think about $150,000. You think she auctioned about 3 pictures, so there's that. I would have liked for there to be some new music, but I'll take that, instead, it's about good cause and supporting Pride. So there you go. So there was that. Hopefully, she doesn't vanish for the next couple of months if we see some other things. I know the DVD is coming out, I guess, in October. I'm assuming this October, not next October. It's been taking a long time. But I'm assuming that'll come out, I guess, October. The Madam X DVD. So there's that. So we'll see what she has for us next. But trying to think what else is going on. So BET Awards, Cosby, Rashard, Shakari. What we got? Actually, I'll say what I'm saying. We got next. Unless anybody else has got some in the comments. I'll say what my next topic for after the first part of our interview. Like I said, this is an artist. I already played his videos before on the show before. In My Feelings is one I played from him. He's an artist based out of Atlanta. He's been at the music thing for a while, actually about 10 years he's been at it. And still putting out mixtapes and EPs, and he's very productive. He's a really good guy to talk to. Took us a minute to sit down together, but when we did, it was a very good conversation. So let's get into our first part of the interview with Joe Work from Atlanta. This is first part one of our interview. Hey, how you doing?
Whew. This is sweat from running literally in the house. And yeah, I look crazy, but I apologize.
Sorry, I'm hot too, actually. It's just, don't help with the jacket, but, for the look.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for agreeing to do the interview.
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess we can start with this. Tell me a little bit about yourself, like where are you from originally?
So I am born and raised in Decatur, Georgia. ATL is what they like to call it, because Atlanta has so many different cities in one, but from Decatur, the east part.
Okay. Obviously, you think Atlanta, Decatur. You think of, like, of course, LaFace and Outkast, TLC, then later on like T.I. and Killer Mike and everybody, and that whole Atlanta hip hop R&B sound. How did all that impact you growing up?
I heard it a lot. So that sound was so like prevalent in our community. Like we grew up hearing T.I. in high school, and just that whole movement with Sierra and that whole thing was a vibe. And I mean, if you're from Atlanta, you know all of those artists and you respect them.
Yeah. That influenced you directly as a musician or as a dancer or?
It definitely influenced me musically because of the energy. It's just the energy that they put in those records. I love to tap into that when I write those hip hop inspired anthems that have the bass hitting at the bottom and 808. So when I get records like that sent to me, I immediately think of the Sierras, the T.I.s, just that whole Lil Jon and all of that good stuff.
Definitely. Speaking of songwriting, like what was the first song that you wrote and what was it about?
One of the first songs I wrote was In Love Alone. I think I wrote that song when I was like maybe 16, and then I released it on a mixtape. Some of my fans will be familiar with Missing Formula. That was a mixtape that I dropped, and it was on that project, and people loved it. It was a very feel-good, broken-hearted. It was a feel-good song, but it was about being broken-hearted. It was the weirdest thing. Like, people loved it.
I get
it. But it was so, like, depressing. It was like, I'm in love alone.
It almost sounds like a Mariah Carey, early Mariah Carey song with the same title, I think, or like a similar title. That just remind me of that from her book, but, just on the side.
Exactly.
Yeah. But staying with, music, and you mentioned your EP, you've been very productive musically. I think it's like 7 mixtapes, I think it said in your bio, and like a couple of EPs, and you're working on like another EP. So that's a lot, definitely.
I've been here for 1 million years. It looks like.
Yeah. So like, what is your process like creatively when you sit down to write a song or, come up with like a melody and things like that? What is your usual process?
So I love to get in the headspace of figuring out what direction I want to go. Like with this upcoming project that I'll be releasing, I really wanted to get into the R&B. I really do process the voice in a while. Most of my dance, and then if I do sing, it's very limited. So I have to go into that core bass because I think people could easily be confused by this consistency amount of years doing that style of music that's all I have.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So when I go to creative mode, I like to figure out what direction I want to go.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Hello? Uh-oh. Signal.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, slow down for a second. Hold on. Let's see if it'll clear up on its own. Okay, all right. Looks fine. Let's try that question again because you kind of broke up. Okay, so let's take me through your process when you go sit down and create a song or write a song and come up with a melody. Like, what's your usual process?
So it's usually a direction. Like if I listen to the production, I never have written a song by itself and then found production afterwards. I know a lot of songwriters that do that, but for me, I have to feel the energy of the record. Okay, if it's an up-tempo dance record, you know what type of lyrics or energy you're gonna go. If it's a dance hall, it's a totally different style with the way you write lyrics and the metaphors. So it really just depends on what direction you want to go. I feel like that's where it starts. And then the lyrics come from the passion of maybe an experience or me talking to my crazy friends. I tell them all the time, I'm like, please do not talk to me on the phone about super personal things, because like, it's no way as a songwriter, I can't block it out when I write stuff, because it's like I'm hearing so many different views and perspectives, and it all comes into a song.
Right. Yeah, definitely. That it can bubble up and it happens, definitely. It's getting into quite just pivoting a little bit, because being an out artist and with it being Pride Month, that's something that I was thinking about covering. How do you feel being open about your sexuality has affected your creativity and your art in general?
Good question. Long answer I have in my head, but I'll give you the short version.
All right.
I think this industry is changing. It will be forever changing, which is a great thing. But I think as an artist that has been doing music for almost 10 years, I remember when I first did music, it was a very different tone, the energy in the music industry. They were not checking for a gay artist, let alone if you wore a sequin shirt and dancing and singing in a video. It was like a no. It was a big no. And now it seems like it's a bit more open. So for me, I have had the wave of the door is closed. And now 10 years later, things that I were doing when I started, I see that that is something that's now
it's cool now.
Popularized.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that. I love people like Lil Nas, Santana, because even though they're mainstream, or well, Santana is more so upcoming, I respect their bravery and just how strong foot they are with their artistry, because you can easily get discouraged by not getting a certain amount of comments or not receiving the attention that you in your head would like to receive to feel acknowledged. So for me, I always felt on the edge about being an out artist, but I never promoted it that way, because I wanted people to see me for this guy writes, this guy dances, this guy choreographs his records, this guy goes behind the camera and directs his videos. And then this is the same person that sings on records. I just always wanted to be respected for what I did and not for so much of what I did in the bedroom or what my sexuality was.
Right.
So I skipped around on records with not, well, I would even say my personality is not really like that either. I'm not really a vulgar person that say stuff like Sophie Santana would say on records. That's just not me. But I just say to any openly gay artist, be yourself. You cannot fit into you. And that is what I feel that has kept me motivated throughout the years of, I think like 10 years I've been doing music. So it's really about finding your identity in the music.
Yeah, definitely. It kind of leads to my next question, saying in the same vein, and you obviously said you don't necessarily lead with being an out artist or or being more sexually explicit, but I guess obviously you're not, but at the same time you're not hiding either. So what would you say obstacles you have faced, maybe either personally or professionally, just on your journey?
Oh, definitely professionally. I can't go into much detail because actually this situation is ongoing now, but I made a transition recently from my last job. It was really interesting because you would think, being yourself is the most perfect thing. But when you're around people that aren't familiar with with their own selves, you feel somewhat like you're a problem or you're different. So I've definitely experienced it in the work field and of course in the music industry. I went to some straight shows and people have looked at me and been cold as ice dripping off of the refrigerator. So I've had those experiences where it's super awkward. But I've also had those experiences where people really appreciated my bravery and my talent. And you just have to take it with a grain of salt, because if you get so caught up into trying to be acknowledged and trying to be the one and trying to be, you just easily going to be distracted. Your goal is now to be this popular person when and challenging, but it's very important that I say this not just for me, but for other artists. Being and standing your own truth is the best advice that I can give. It's simple, but it's really, it is what kept me to keep pushing.
Right. Yeah, that's what, yeah, definitely I can relate to that. Just sort of sticking to what you know and who you are, and you know, not wavering from that. It's very helpful. Yeah. But
which is why, you know, you have, oh, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Which is why like, you know, people like Lil Nas, I watched him closely musically, right? I remember when he first came out, and I said to a friend, I promise you, I put this on the rest of my paychecks, his image is gonna change drastically. And here we are, and it's maybe not because of just a marketing standpoint, but the way that he was pushed in front of the public, I just knew it was more to him. So that's what I mean when I say you have to be authentic, just completely be yourself. Because when you do those transitions, the people that loved you for doing what you were doing artistically feel like you've abandoned them. So that's why I never do music that it's not real to me. Because once you do a transition, people are now wondering, why are you just testing yourself musically, or are you doing it for attention? Right. So that's why I say being authentic as an artist, it's Bible. I mean, it's literally Bible.
Yeah, absolutely. Was part one of our interview with Joe Work. Like I said, you know, really great guy to talk to. You know, a few glitches in there, you know, interconnection problems, but I think you got just the conversation. And then part two of it, we'll talk more about music, including some music he has coming up. I think we talk about maybe any live shows he wants to put on, any plans for that, you know, now that things are opening back up. So definitely stay tuned for part two of that interview with him. So yeah, because he was really great to talk to. And of course you can follow him on IG at Mr. Joe Work, and he gets on YouTube and, you know, all the other social platforms too. So but let's move along to our next music video. This is a video, like I said, if you're a fan of choreography, you really love this video. This is Eli Liberty with Drippy. So let's get into that one. It's Eli Liberty with Drippy.
Look at you, so damn cute. Inspire me like my muse. You to pay, you got my way. No cliche, alright. Turn me up when I come around you. It's a new thing that I'm not so used to. But it's cool, but it's cool. Have it your way. Let me see you go nuts. Do what you like. You can show me how you ride. Make it all yours. I'll make it all mine. It's all mine. It's all mine. If you want it drippy, baby, come see me. Fuck with me, get freaky. Give you what you need. Tell me how you want it, yeah. I do it how you want it, yeah. If you want it drippy, baby, come see me. Fuck with me, get freaky, give you what you need. Tell me how you want it, yeah. From the back, I do it how you want it, yeah. Yeah. Ay. Give it to see me. Fuck with me, get freaky, give you what you need. Tell me how you want it, yeah. From the back, I do it how you want it, yeah. Yeah, if you want it drippy, baby, come see me. Fuck with me, get freaky, give you what you need. Tell me how you want it, yeah. From the back, I do it how you want it, yeah. I like how you ride it, sweat pouring on white bed, control it, design it. Just in my line, I'm supplying. I like how you ride it, sweat pouring on white bed, control it, design it. Just in my line, I'm supplying. If you want it drippy, baby, go see me. Fuck with me, get freaky, give you what you need. Tell me how you want it, yeah. From the back, I do it how you want it, yeah. Yeah, if you want it drippy, baby, go see me. Fuck with me, get freaky, give you what you need. Tell me how you want it, yeah. From the back, I do it how you want it, yeah. Yeah.
And that was Eli Liberty with Drippy. Like I told you, if you fan of choreography and a little bumping and grinding, dry humping, but also real choreography, you would like that video a lot. So get a few little facts about Mr. Liberty. He's American blazing Cuban R&Pop, which I know his words that they term R&Pop singer. Born and raised on the South Side of Chicago. He's also a producer, a songwriter, and a choreographer, as you see in the video. He's also best known for the hit No Cuffin' from 2016 from his EP Try Me Part 1. He's also fuses multiple genres of music to become successful. He's also in Atlanta. A lot of Atlanta this week. Atlanta's representing this week. He's in the part of their indie scene. He's also known for not just producing and singing music, but he also performs as well. He's trained with the Joffrey Ballet. And is also was one of the highest choirs in the nation. He's also got a big follow on Instagram. So yeah, look him up on IG and follow him. Like I said, pretty multi-hyphenate and also very creative individual. So that was Eli Liberty with Drippy. Other news, getting back to our pop divas. If you're aware, you have Amazon. Mary J. Blige dropped her documentary for My Life, June 25th, last Friday. So, and of course, I watched it, actually watched it twice. I would say it was very good. Of course, it's Mary, so it's very emotional. Of course, My Life was like, she's described it her darkest album of all her albums. The album where she was kind of going through a lot. If you don't know, just a quick backstory, this was the album where she was dealing with a lot of personal stuff, whether that was, her relationship at the time with Casey from Jodeci, but also, of course, she was battling her addictions, whether that was alcohol and drugs, and just things from her childhood that were still, tormenting her basically, and all that went to the album. And so of course they interviews with Puffy, Diddy now, Puffy at the time, Chucky Thompson, who produced a lot of the tracks from that album, Big Bub, who was also a songwriter on that album. They also interviewed people like Alicia Keys and Taraji, just talk about her influence on on them coming up. And they also interviewed like Daniel Smith, who was like the former editor-in-chief of Vibe magazine. Misha, who styled her clothing, back in like what's the 411 days, things like that. So you got good talk, good insights. Of course, Nas was also in it. Method Man made an appearance, so you get a good idea of like the impact the music was having both inside the industry and then also outside the industry, because they also included scenes with fans where they had like listening parties, and it was like a listening session with What's the 411 with My Life, and they would talk about the way the albums impacted them, which I thought was really great, because it's that connection. I know that's what the album has for me as well. I would say as a music geek, I would have liked a little bit more insight into like a track by track thing. They focus on certain tracks. They focused on My Life, the title track, which obviously is one of her best known album tracks, like one of her deep cuts. They also focused on Be Happy, and they focused on Be With You, which that was the first song that they finished for the album. And they did a little bit on I Never Want to Live Without You, which fire backing vocals by Faith Evans. If you didn't know it, I was singing background on that song. Also, she sang background on, I think You Gotta Believe was another one she sang background on too. And you got to talk a little bit about that song as well. But I would have liked for there to be a little bit more about the whole album because they didn't cover I'm the Only Woman or Mary Jane All Night Long, which great use of samples on that one with the Mary Jane Girls and Teddy Pendergrass, and one more song which I always forget, but but then also Mary's Joint, fantastic song. Drake didn't do it first; he sampled her, and of course she sampled audio too from the same beat from Real Love. Just again, music geek droppings. But I would have liked had they broke it down track by track and really give you more on the production side or the technical side. But of course, the main thing that sticks people about the album is the emotion. So I get why they focus on that, as opposed to more of the techie music stuff. So, but yeah. Oh yeah, I know that there is. For my fellow music geeks, there is a version out now of the album where he talks about each track. Track by track, she gives like insight into what went into each track before the track plays on the My Life album. So yeah, that's on Spotify, and I think it's on YouTube. All the streaming platforms have it. So yeah, if you want more insight into like the musical side of it, definitely look that up. Look up the audio commentary on Spotify, Tidal, Google Play, whatever you stream your music at. So yeah, but yeah, good documentary. Trying learned a few things I didn't know before, just more insight into what was happening. I like the use of I like the drawings and the animation they had of like her as a little girl and then her as like a young adult, that was an inventive way of sort of like telling the story again, because people or if you followed Mary at any point in the last 15, 20, 25 years, you're kind of aware of the drama. But this was like it really kind of gave a fresh perspective on that time, and it told the story in like a different way. It gave more context to why she was going through that point and what led to that point. So I thought it was a good documentary. Now, according to her, we're gonna be getting a biopic for a long time, or a book for a long time. So this is what we got for now. So that, this will have to satisfy us until she feels ready to, put her whole life story to tape, or life story to a book or to a movie or both. So yeah, but look that up if you want to. It's on Amazon Prime right now. Like a good documentary, about an hour and a half, so not too long, but yeah, just long enough. So, a series I want to watch that I just learned about not too long ago, on Netflix called Pop Life, I believe, which every episode talks about a different facet of pop music. The first thing, one episode deals with like boy bands, like Boyz II Men in particular, and how they influenced boy groups, guy groups in the 90s, which I would argue long term Jodeci has the bigger influence, but that's just me. Nothing against Boyz II Men, but yeah. And another episode talks about auto tune. Another episode talks about I believe like songs like as political, political music. And a couple of episodes. I haven't watched it yet, but it looks very interesting. I would definitely want to get into it when I have time. So that's on Netflix if you want to watch that. Pop Life is I think it's the name of, or no. Yeah, is it maybe Pop Life? Oh no, This Is Pop. I got that mixed up with a Prince song I listened to earlier today, Pop Life, which great song by the way. But no, it's called This Is Pop is the name of the docu-series on Netflix. So yeah, check it out when you have a chance. Trying to think, what I came across, MGB documentary. This Is Pop. It's a good series. Oh, this is rather butch, but we break boundaries around here on the Afro Sensei show. The trailer for the Sopranos movie debuted, I would say a couple of days ago. For me, I watched the whole series multiple times. I think it's a great show, obviously a very influential show. Now if you aware of it, in a movie, Jimmy Gandolfini's son is starring in the role as a young Tony Soprano. Basically, it's like Tony Soprano's origin story. Judging from the trailer, it looks pretty good. Definitely got some big names in there as far as like that whole genre. You got Ray Liotta from Goodfellas. You got I think she's in The Conjuring, and she was in Up in the Air and a bunch of other stuff. I think I can't think of her name. Vera, I believe is her name. Vera, I can't think of her last name. She was in like The Departed and like I said, The Conjuring and a bunch of different. But she's in it. She plays Tony's mother. I think you got but if you, it's more so if when you see their faces, you know, oh, that's that person. You know, it's more like that. Ray Liotta is, you know, one that comes to mind because obviously everybody knows Goodfellas and some other movies he's been in. But like I said, just from the trailer, it looks like it's going to be a good one. They definitely captured that kind of sort of late 70s sort of atmosphere. It's like it feels very like I said, kind of grimy and gritty. I do wonder if any of the TV show regulars will make any appearances. Like I wonder if, you know, Pauly Walnuts will be in there, you know, with the wings, or if Christopher will be in there, or somebody else, you know. Because it seems to be talking about, because if you remember from the show, Tony talks a lot about how Christopher's father, Dickie Moltisanti, was kind of his mentor in a way, or his, you know, his bad influence, if you want to think about it in a different way. Kind of his mentor into like the life and sort of teaching him the ropes. Like he was kind of like early mentor as far as like being, you know, I guess a crime boss or whatever. And so they show him in the movie, and I think it seems like a kind of a tug of war, like Tony, because at this point Tony is going off to college for a bit. Because in the show he refers to that, say he went to college for a semester, but obviously he dropped out. But in the prequel, it seems like he's going to college and sort of torn in between that, but also, you know, being pulled back, you know, into this life that he's been surrounded by growing up because of his dad, because of, you know, his uncle, obviously Junior, and his father Johnny. So there's that. In a way, it kind of reminds me, if you remember from season 3 of the show, of Jackie Prio's son, Jackie Jr., how he was, in one hand he was going to college, but on the other hand, he wanted to be like a tough guy, which difference between, I think, Tony and Jackie is that Jackie was a dumbass, even though he was fine, he was stupid, and Tony is a little bit, you know, smarter and self-aware. So I think that's the big difference. So, but yeah, it definitely looks good. Unfortunately, it's not coming out until October, so we have to wait until then to watch the thing. But I'm assuming it's going to either be not in the theater, but it'll probably be on Netflix or some streaming service. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that and watching that. I think it'll be a good addition to the canon of the Sopranos. So yeah, we can get on ahead into our next video. Next video, came across this again online live. You know, if you're now on YouTube, you need to get on. I mean, if you're now on Instagram, get on Instagram. That's where all the great gay art is happening. At least that's where I found a lot of it anyway, visually. So this next video is coming from artist Jay Saint. This track "Fallen," a strong, like summery, I'd say, you know, Afrobeat, Afro house kind of vibe to it. But again, let's get into this one. This is Jay Saint with "Fallen."
Falling, give me some, zaga zaza, eh. I want the whole na, don't stop, pull up, baby, give me some right now, give me some, zaga zaza, eh. I want the whole na, don't stop, pull up, baby, give me some right now, give me some. Shattered feelings, cryptic love, so ready, I need it, I can't get enough. Zaga zaza, no, can't get enough.
And that was Jay Saint with Fallen. Like I said, strong, summery Afrobeat, Afro house vibe to it. Very good video. I like the wide open spaces of it. It felt very open and free, and fit the mood of the song really well. So again, that's Jay Saint with Fallen. A few facts about Mr. Saint. He is a indie artist, of course, to watch. A singer-songwriter. I like this type, how he phrases this. He aims to take listeners on a cosmic journey through sound with the release of his Back from Jupiter EP. Now that came out back in April of this year. EP falls first EP for Stick and Move the visual for it, Stick and Move from his X-Minute EP that was released last year. So go ahead and check it out. He actually has a history as a songwriter with Bad Boy Records. He actually wrote Danny Kane's album, Up to the Dollhouse. One of you wrote Damage, thought that I would let you know. Remember that song? Good song. Some people don't think it's a bop, but it's a bop. I'm just saying. All right, but he also wrote for Fergie, Day26, and Sean Kingston. So some good names, some good credits. So yeah, definitely check him out, Jay Saint. And that's Fallen. He's on Instagram as well. All artists now are on IG, so look them up and follow. If you like their stuff, follow them. And also, real quick, if you have any videos on anybody that you think I would like as an artist to play on the show, definitely send me an email, afrosensei@gmail.com. It's afrosensei@gmail.com. And we'll check them out and see if we want to play them on the show. So yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a great drag number. Very emotional. Very, very big. It's very big. Actually, quick side note with me. Last weekend, I got an impromptu invite to go to perform at like a little house party for like the end of Pride Month, and actually ended up performing lip syncing to my single Supercalifragilistic, and I did a version of Reminisce by Mary J. Getting back to Mary J. talk. So it was fun. We went out to a shout out to the Garden District. That's where that little house party was. I don't put anybody's name out there for privacy reasons, but yeah, it was fun, and I hadn't performed in a very long time, and it's a way to kind of dip my toe back in before anything else, anything else bigger happens. So yeah, had a good time. So yeah, but yes, that's a great number to do for drag is Jay Saint. So yeah. So yeah, definitely look him up and follow him if you like the track. So let's see what we get into. Okay, well, when we get to our next video, actually, this next video, and then not very colorful video, I'd say, which makes sense given the title of the song. I think I saw this one on Yo LGBT Raps, which is another great IG page. This artist's name is Only One Theory, and this is Pink Lemonade. So let's consider there's only one theory in Pink Lemonade.
In the club after midnight, only thing she want is a spotlight. I put the wave in the wave cap. Want me to save, I can't save that. Shorty bad, Pink Lemonade. She do what she want, her to say. Choose who she decide, and she knew what she liked. Solid fitness, shot it like a ballet. Good legend, graceful, just gotta have it. In the club, bugging like she tryna make a quota. Think that they know, but they don't really know her. You think it's better on the other side? I wanna see those things your eyes try to hide. Those secrets telling lies. The way you move, baby, graceful with them thighs. Don't judge a shawty, but she check for me. Gotta earn them strikes like a referee. Lemon pepper wings with the tiptoes. Not nan, drop a water on them. 24 hours phone explode. Until then, shawty, it's a case closed. In the club, a rose gon' be a rose. But I don't have a gift, and baby, I can't save those. In the club after midnight, only thing she want is a spotlight. I put the wave in the wave cap. Want me to save, I can't save that. Shorty bad, Pink Lemonade. She do what she want, got her to say. Choose who she decide, and she knew what she liked. One time, two times, shawty got a hotline. Don't know what you doing, she don't wanna make you flatline. She be in the game when she touchdown prime time. You must be Jamaican, let me see it slow wine. Puerto Rican, I'm colorblind. I don't do both, pick a side. I can't be yours if you're not mine, not mine, not mine. Don't trip a shawty, but she check for me. Gotta earn them strikes like a referee. Lemon pepper wings with the tip thing she want is a spotlight. I put the wave in the wave cup. Want me to save, I can't save that. Shorty bad being lemonade. She do what she want, got her to say. Choose who she decide. And she knew what she like. In the club after midnight. Only thing she want is a spotlight. I put the wave in the wave cup. Want me to save, I can't save that. Shorty bad being lemonade. She do what she want, got her to say. Choose who she decide. And she know what she like. Don't tell me shawty, but she check for me. Gotta earn them stripes like a referee. Lemon pepper wings with the tiptoes. Not now, drop a water on them. 24 hours, phone is closed. Until then, shawty, it's a case closed. In the club, a rose gon' be a rose. But I don't have a given, baby, I can't save those. In the club after midnight. Only thing she want is a spotlight. I put the wave in the wave cup. Want me to save, I can't save that. Shorty bad being lemonade. She do what she want, got her to say. Choose who she decide. And she know what she like.
All right, and that was Only One Theory featuring Marley Mad. I forgot to say that before the intro to the video. But with Pink Lemonade. So again, there's Only One Theory with Marley Mad, Pink Lemonade. A few facts about Only One Theory. She's from Baltimore. No, not Atlanta. But she's a multifaceted artist. She's a songwriter, engineer, and producer. She's also worked with Yo Gotti, Sean Paul, and Flo Rida, so some good, pretty big names. She also created Wave and B and focused on creating impact overall on the overall culture of modern music. So let's see which her EP, upcoming EP, she's collaborating with DJ Jai Sincere. So look out for that. You can follow her, of course, on Instagram, Only One Theory, and on YouTube as well. You also can follow Marley Mad on Marley Mad on YouTube as well, or on Instagram. So good collaboration between them. Love the colors of that video. Like I said, it fit. Like I said, song called Pink Lemonade, so got to bring the colors, which they do. So, which looks like a great video on YouTube. Want to watch the whole thing again? Follow both of them on Instagram. Great artists. So definitely good collaboration. Good Kiki, if you will. So let's go ahead and get into our second part of our interview with Joe Work. Like I said, on this we talked about a lot of things, but on this particular part of the interview, we talked about new music that he's working on and how he's aiming for a new sound. Oh, hello, Kiki Boniki. Welcome to the party. But yeah, this part of the interview, we talked about basically his music and how he's sort of trying to push himself to try new things musically and expose, basically show different sides of himself as an artist and as a musician to people with the new music that he's working on, if I can speak. Also talking about now things opening back up, live shows, things that he has planned in terms of live performance. So let's get into that part of the second part of the interview with Joe Work. So let's get into that. One more question sort of in that vein. What do you think are like some common misconceptions about LGBTQ artists?
We're basic.
Oh, yeah.
We're basic. I get that all the time. Wait, let me make this clear. I don't get that all the time. But I see people make really nasty comments towards us. It just is a community as a whole when we do. I remember saying Saucy Santana came out and I would go through the comments and people would say, who he think he is? And I just didn't understand that because I'm thinking like, well, who you think you is coming, judging someone's music like that? I mean, it's just like I said, I just really think you have to stay the course. Yeah, you do. You have to stay the course.
Yeah, and I would add too, I've noticed with Lil Nas X, just my own interactions with people online, is that some of the backlash, some of that sort of the who is you kind of factor seems to be coming from other Black gay men specifically. Saying that he's quote unquote doing too much, but I find really disappointing, but. Yeah,
this industry is very dark. Even our own people, I have so many stories. So many stories. I remember when I started when I was like 18 and the stuff that I did, and I'm honest to say it, the stuff that I did and the way that I put myself in certain places that I felt would get me to the next level, it's just as real as it is for these straight females that go to the studio and engage with the producer and then engage with the record label. It happens even worse for us as a community, because you got to think, we are our own community. So if you're a music artist trying to level out of the community, you first have to go through the doors of your own. So I realized that even though most people, I do have a great following in the LGBTQ family, there has been some warriors that have came with fire sticks to try to block. And it's just interesting because, you know, you would think the struggle that we face daily, just not even music, you would think that it would be an easy door to walk through, but it's just as bad, or it's even worse in our own community, because we like to battle our own people. And I try to work with as many artists as I can that I genuinely have a connection with for that reason, because I don't do the beefs, I don't do the back and forth, I don't do the drama, I may do a subtweet every now and then, you know, just to get these thoughts out of my head, but I don't like to do the feuds, because then people are like, well, why are you doing it? Are you doing it just to get on and get popularity? So it just feels like the music game now has turned into a popularity contest, and that's something I'm not a part of. I don't want to be a part of that. I'd rather be, you know, the numbers guy. You know, when Joe dropped his EP, it charted this and he sold this amount. And when he put this out, people appreciated his work for this. I don't want to be known for, and he got into a beef with another artist, and I'm not into that. I'm 31 years old. I'm too old to be arguing with people on social media.
No love and hip hop antics then, huh?
And I actually, I got invited with, well, a little, you know, secret or whatever. I got invited to do Love and Hip Hop through another friend.
Oh, okay.
This was like 3 years ago, obviously before the pandemic, and I did not want to do it. I said it would be great exposure, but then y'all always see the crazy side of me, and I'm gonna keep that in the closet, because I don't want to be fighting nobody and acting crazy, and then y'all see the Cater East Side come out. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from stuff like that.
All right. You mentioned earlier that you also direct a lot of your own videos. So in terms of directing inspiration, what do you, when you're thinking of a concept for a video, what is that process like, putting things together?
I can honestly say I love to watch old school vintage videos. I grew up watching just the throwback 80s and 90s, and just how artistic their videos were and how much time they took with the writing, the treatment of the video, the color schemes. I don't think people realize the color schemes, the treatment, the editing I do as well. The videos that you have seen, I've edited. Listen, this is 12 hours of work going downhill. But the videos that you've seen, I played a big part in the editing room, and I'm just proud of the work because I went to school for graphic design. So that was very important to me, to not only get the videos filmed in the way or direction I've seen, but to also have a part in what scenes get put, because I see so many videos, I'm like, they didn't grease her down good, like it goes ashy, and like, what was they thinking with this scene? Because this don't go. So I was like, no, I can't be done like that. I gotta have a part in the editing. So most of the videos you've seen, I would say probably 85% of them, I have literally sat in my bedroom and had hours of editing them. So I'm really excited about the new work, because yeah, I feel like people are gonna see a different side of me artistically. So I cannot wait for that. It's easy to make up-tempo records. It's easy to do a record to dance, because dancing is my passion. It's easy to do these records where it's not a lot of singing involved, because producing wise and engineering wise, you get in there and do a edit, send it, and there we go. Like, so this time it's a little bit more in depth, and it's personal. So I'm really, 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 really excited about the new music.
Okay, and this kind of goes right into my next question then, because like that's the upcoming project. You mentioned it'd be more personal, and be a little less dance oriented. How would you describe the overall sound, or like what influences are you pulling from for it?
I don't want to lose the dancing because then I feel like that would probably not be me, but I wanted to incorporate more vocals. So this project it's a very moody project. One side of the record is ballads. The other side is very melodic. When you hear a lot of music, you remember it really quick because it's very catchy. So I have those type of records. I'm doing pop again, which is really great. And that was literally the first record I've ever put out, Put Me Out. That was my biggest song to date, was a pop dance record. So I have some of that house music. I'm also doing more dance hall records. Shout out to Torch. He's a reggae artist that I did an international record with. That was super fun. So we have some stuff in the works as well. So to sum it up, this project will be very moody. It will put you in every single mood you can possibly think of.
You mentioned more vocals for this. You mentioned more vocals for this one coming up. Who are your vocal inspirations?
Ooh, I have a lot of vocal inspirations. I'm a huge fan of Mariah. Man, my dad was a DJ, and I remember being maybe like 6 years old, and he would have like maybe 20 or 30 people in this small room, and he would be blasting Honey, blasting just all of Mariah Carey's songs. And even though those records were known for vocals, they were party records. So that's what I wanted to do with this new project, is do a mix of both. So Mariah Carey, Brandy, Sierra's not a vocalist, and I love her to death, but I love Sierra. Huge Sierra fan. And lastly, as a male, I would say Mario.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say the guy behind you on your wall, Prince.
Oh, he's this way. I went the opposite way. Yeah, Prince was really, and I'm like, again, I'm very honest. I didn't really study Prince music as much as I did with a Mariah Carey, but I respect Prince so much, which is why he's on the wall. And this is literally all my dad records, literally. So yeah, Prince, Michael Jackson, Chris Brown. I have so many artists, but just to name off the top of my head, Brandy, I loved her for her vocal layering. She takes so much time into layering her vocals and the styles and tones and the different ways the vibrato. I get so goosebumps come over me when I hear Brandy's voice. Now I ain't got a Brandy voice, but like I said, I just get inspired by those artists. Seven Streeter, beautiful girl, beautiful artist, beautiful voice. So those are my top 5. The rest of these artists the rest of these singers aren't really, they're not standing out to me. The new artists. Summer Walker, I was a fan of hers, but I don't know. I love her. She's amazing.
Yeah, she is.
And Jasmine Sullivan is, of course, epic.
Definitely. Yeah. Does the project have a name yet, or do you not want to give that away yet? Or
I have 4 names, man, and I keep sending my friends text messages. They're like, "You text me one more time about what you think your project should be called." Like, we just have this group chat. I don't have a title yet. One of them that I'm probably not going to name, but I was very close to naming the project Fusion. And I was going to name it Fusion because it's, when you hear it, it's so many different sounds, but it's so cohesive. Okay. You could be at the beach. You could be heading to the club. It could be a pregame song. It's going to be the song when you in the shower after a long day at work, you want to hear. You're in the bed, you're driving home from work, you want something soothing. It's gonna be literally all those type of moods. So
all the feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good energy. And I have this one record that I cannot wait to put out. It's called, I'm either gonna call it Freaknik or In the A. So it's a record that tells about me. It's more than likely gonna be Freaknik. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna be Freaknik. But my dog is about to walk up. Jesus, I hope you don't jump on me. Tango, please sit down. If you embarrass me or knock this ring light down. But yeah, it's this record called Freaknik, and I really, really, really cannot wait until people see the visuals to this record I'm about to shoot. It's over the top.
Okay.
It's really gonna take you back to it's gonna show you my vision of what Atlanta is to me, born and raised. So it's gonna take you back to what Atlanta like truly is.
Okay. I'm excited to see it. Two more questions. With things opening back up now, of course, with slowly but surely with the pandemic sort of taking a turn, do you plan to start performing out more again, or maybe touring possibly, or?
I will be doing a concert. I'm getting together the dates. That's something exclusive too that I literally just said like it was like nothing. But yeah, I'll be doing a concert. I did Shots of Love 2 years ago. That was a concert I built for independent artists. We had over 7 artists that were featured that night that I put together. It was so much fun. We sold out here in Atlanta. It was really great. So it will be a part 2 of that. And like I said, I love supporting other artists. So it'd be me headlining it with other guest artists from different states, traveling. It's gonna be fun. I don't have the date yet. This pandemic is very annoying. It's very annoying. But if it was up to me without the pandemic, it would be literally August. But yeah, so I'm still working out that. But there will be a very, very, very special concert coming.
Okay, good, great. And then last but not least, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Joe Work. You also can find me on IG, Mr. Joe Work. Don't follow anything else because ain't nothing else going on. It's not. Very soon I'll have an IG for Tango, which is my dog. You probably have seen him in videos or pictures, but yeah, so he will have his little debut of our IG soon. But I appreciate it. I appreciate this interview.
Oh, definitely. I appreciate you, just taking time to sit down with me. I really like to talk to, especially LGBTQ artists about, just their experiences and, their creativity and things like that. So,
and thank you for being patient with me. I thank you for being patient with me. You have been awesome. Great communication. I know we've had a couple of different changes. It's been on my end, y'all. But yeah, I literally came home, threw my shirt off, like, find a hat, let's go. Like it's been a crazy day. But I definitely appreciate it. I cannot wait till people hear the new music. Freaknik is coming out very soon. Just expect a different tone from me, a different energy. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna keep the heat blazing. I'm gonna keep you dancing, but I'm gonna give you something else. So just get ready for that jambalaya this fall. It's definitely coming.
All right, great. So nice talking to you. So
all right.
All right,
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. All right, and that was part 2 of my interview with Joe Work. Like I said, great conversation with him. He's a great artist, very productive, very prolific artist, based out of Atlanta. Songwriter, singer. Like I said, like he mentioned, director of his own videos, so he conceptualizes everything. Looking forward to what he has next as far as the album release. Looking forward to Tango's Instagram account. That'd be fun to watch. Like I said, you can follow him on Twitter or on YouTube, or on IG, and wherever he is. Shout out to Unspoken Views, who is in the chat. She's here. We were playing her video actually momentarily. But yeah, follow him and Mr. Joe Work on IG and on Twitter, like he said. Great conversation. I'll definitely be reposting that to my page on IG in the next coming days, and also probably to my YouTube channel as well. So if you want to rewatch it there, you can, out of the place. So, but let's get right to it with the next video. I came across this artist on IG again. Like I said, if you know IG, get on IG to follow, to see all the new tea that's happening in music. I like the video itself. It's a simple video, but it's it kind of portrays just two people sort of like interacting with each other and that infatuation and sort of that kind of push-pull of emotion. I think this artist. So let's get into this video for Unspoken Views, and the video is Enough of You. So this is Unspoken Views and Enough of You.
What do you mean, do I like you? You're a trip. Oh, baby, you're just so exquisite. Remarkable, even. No, It's the way you make me feel, you know? I can't really describe it. Wait, hello? Hello? I just can't get enough of you, babe. I just can't get enough of you. Said I can't get enough of you. I just can't get enough of you, babe. God damn, I love your smile. The way you take your time. Never rush when you reply. You got me feeling high. Sing to me a lullaby. While I look in your eyes. Tears of joy when we make love. I feel so safe. Lie to me, baby. I just wanna take my time, can I, baby? Say you never lied to me, baby. I just wanna take my time, can I, baby? Baby.
Right, and that was Unspoken Views with Enough of You. Like I said, very good video. Actually, I saw this about this when the song was starting up with that whole jazz, influence. It reminds me a little bit of like a Spike Lee movie, like this. Always have things like they're on a dolly, and like there's like jazz music in the background, and you're like they're kind of thinking about life, or thinking about like kind of where they what got them to where they are. Kind of remind me a little bit of that, like a little bit of a Spike Lee esque mood with like with the jazz and all her on the phone and stuff like that. But anyway, that was unspoken Views with Enough of You. A few little tidbits about her. She was born and raised in Orange County, but she also hails from Louisiana. So good there, good girl from my home state. Louisiana family lineage deeply rooted in soul and poetry. Views' unique sound has been coined as neo rap. Her rapid fire lyricism paired with a soft like cotton melodic vocal range. So it's a little bit of G-funk, a little bit of rap, a little bit of R&B, a little bit of house, dance. So it's a real gumbo to keep it Louisiana mix of sounds. So I'm mentioning Eric Badu. Okay. Oh, Open Mason Dallas. All right. Okay. Good. I said exactly because I got it right. Good. So also, she has inspiration from Kendrick Lamar and Anderson .Paak, which again I could see with both lyricism and also like the soulfulness. For like Anderson .Paak, you think of like what's the song he had with Smokey Robinson? Do you want to make it better? That might that kind of soulfulness, but also like Kendrick Lamar, he mixes that sort of lyricism with the jazz influences, definitely like the Butterfly, all that stuff. So yeah, but yeah, definitely follow her on IG. That's Unspoken Views with Enough of You. So excited to see what she does next. So yeah. Some quick tea, a little messy tea before we get y'all final video tonight. Is anybody watching? I think I mentioned this before, but I caught up on it. At least I'm caught up with three episodes of it. Is anybody watching the Encore on BET? Now, if you don't know, the Encore on BET is like about this, basically like this super group of former members of girl groups. Like they got Aubrey from Danity Kane. They got Misha and I think her cousin from 702. I forget names. I'm sorry, but I can't remember all. But they got two twins from the group Cherish, Fallon and Felicia. They got they got Keely from 3LW, and they got Pam from Total, and then they got one solo artist, Nivea. Don't mess with my man, that Nivea. So yeah, I'm watching it, and woo, it is a glorious just amalgamation of mess and tea and egos and talent. For some and like oh yeah, a mess fest. Yes, it's a mess fest, but like it's it's because I mean, them people together. All the first, like, I mean, a quick a quick breakdown. Cause I can't you can't go into all of it. It's like basically the idea is like all these women are in this house. They call it a music mansion, and basically they're there to form this group. And also to make, I think like an album, and also to do a performance at the end of the 30 days. And there are rules. They have for the album, for these 3 songs on the album, they have to have all 9 members on the song, which is, Wu Tang compared, because always do it. So I'm not sure how they're gonna do it, but so far they haven't. And the dynamics are kind of, is are shaky, because you got 2 twins who are the youngest, so they probably about. See, Do It Too was like around '06. They probably about my age now, so like probably about like early to mid 30s. So, but to them, they at first they were surprised that the other women that came in were older than they were. And I'm like, okay, well, have you not been around for the last 10, 12 years? Because girl groups aren't exactly a thing anymore like they used to be, sadly, but they just aren't. So anybody that comes in is going to be 30 plus at off top, if not more than that. So anyway, so there was that. And the twins, they have gotten involved in like songwriting behind the scenes for like Justin Bieber, and then they wrote a record for Chris Brown. That was pretty big. So they've been doing work, but fortunately that's kind of made them a little bit arrogant and a bit abrasive, which doesn't go over with the other women on the first night that they meet. And so there's that. But that said, I mean, when it comes to the work ethic and actually trying to get the stuff done, I mean, they're in the studio and writing, and they getting it done. Same goes for Aubrey. If you remember making a band, I'm dating myself, or y'all know, I'm making a band back in the gap with Danny Kane. Her personality is kind of pretty much the same, driven. Not completely above the mess, but wants to work. So her and the twins kind of mesh and get along. Misha from 702, remember 702, Stilo, and like I put song on the head, can get it together. It's a couple of the tracks. Where My Girl's At from the front to back, that was a big song. She's on there, and I think she has a talent that they do, but unfortunately the twins are kind of shady towards her both about her age and about her singing and dance ability, because she hasn't been quite she's not quite as sharp vocally as the other ones. She has was a little bit rusty. She just needs to kind of get back in shape basically vocally. And so I think she has a talent there. BB911, BB911, call me on my set. It's a Missy collaboration, yeah. All right, but anyway, I think she has the ability, but she just lacks a little bit of the confidence, and she's allowing that to kind of get in her head, I believe. Then you got from Black, I can't remember her name, but she kind of stays above the fray in terms of the drama. She can sing and she's talented, but she kind of stays above the drama so far. Now the mood is Nivea, because it's ironic because you got all these women who've been in all these groups, and they got all this clashing going on, but the person who's most chill besides the woman from Black is Nivea. Nivea just like, I'm here, I know I can sing, I'm about to drink, I'm about to eat, I'm about to make these faces while these girls just rip each other to shreds. I'm just about to be here like, that's Nivea. So Nivea is me. I am Nivea. Anyway, so she's there, and then you got Pam, who is like become very extremely religious. To the point where she don't want arbitration on her knee because she fears that might lead her back into a lifestyle. We're not going to touch into that because just being the home stretch of the show. Anyway, but yeah, Pam's a religious from she was in total. And then you got I'm leaving out. You got Misha's cousin. I can't name her name. Sorry, she's from 702 as well. Who's kind of they're kind of shading her too about the same thing that they're doing Misha for. But she's a little bit more willing to listen, or she's a little bit more willing to be coached, I guess, vocally or whatever. Then you got so those. Then you got who else? Oh, and then I think you got twins, and then you got them, and then last but not least, you got Keely. Keely's from 3LW. 3LW is just a group with her, Notori, who's gone to star in Power and in a couple of the series and movies and things like that. And you also had Adrian, who now hosts co-hosts The Real. But Keely, I don't get her. I don't get her. like she comes to, she came in the first night and everybody's talking about what the group is going to be and everything else and what's going on. And then they actually like, oh, okay, well, what do you want to get out of this? So us asked some to that effect, and she was like, oh, I'm not here to be a part of it. I'm here to be a creative director. And everybody looked at her like, okay, well, what does that mean? And why? Now the reaction was a little bit dramatic from the twins, but I mean the basic point was the same. Like, okay, like, so why are you here exactly? Like, and she was saying like, I'm not here to be in a group. I'm just here to like manage these women and mold them into whatever. It's like, okay, well, first of all, did you give yourself a title, or did you, or did the producers talk to you and say this is what you're going to come in as? It sounds like it's the former. And then they go second, and then as the show goes on, all you really don't see her do too much. At least I haven't seen her do too much as a career director. And it's like, Aubrey is she's steadily like silent Aubrey and like needling her and telling everybody else, oh, well, Aubrey just off Aubrey. She just wants to divide everybody and make this all about herself. It's like, okay, well, maybe that's true, maybe it isn't, but Aubrey is the one that came with the vision board that everybody in the group liked, that you tried to shade, but then that backfired on your ass. It's like, so you're coming in here telling these other women who all been in the industry like what you're gonna do for them, but all I see you doing is like rocking your sleepwear and drinking your wine. Which if you're here for the free wine, do you? But don't come here talking about you're gonna be the creative director and you have like you're a director. You don't have like not even a piece of a vision board for nothing. And it's like, okay, like, girl, if you don't get in this booth and just do wop pop and sing and give this A count, because I mean, like, why is you here? To quote one Jocelyn Hernandez, which of all people. But why are you here if you're not gonna be part of the group? Yet you in the studio laying down vocals, but you're not part of the group. You take part of dance practice, but you're not part of the group. Like, I mean, so what's really going on? What's really going on? What I think is going on is that she's afraid. Because what happened with 3W is she was the lead singer. But then what happened? But in the grand scheme of things, how it turned out was, Notori has an acting career, Adrian's on the reel, and then in terms of what she's doing professionally, as far as I know, no shade, she's not doing all too much, and so it may have shaken her confidence a bit, which is you can empathize with that. But if that's what you're feeling, just say I'm just feeling a little insecure now, I'm feeling a little afraid right now. Don't hide behind like I'm the creative director and you're all going to work under me, like, because I ain't gonna work, especially now with this group of women, not now in this show, like, so get it together. Anyway, so I'm 3 episodes in. It seems very entertaining. I'm assuming the fourth episode is up now, so I'm gonna get caught up and see what happens next. I think they'll probably pull it together. I mean, much as they have on the twins are the ones kind of pulling the train right now. Hopefully the rest of the ladies can, kind of get it together and find their place, within this group. Because, I mean, that's a lot of people in one group, 9 people in the group, which is probably why, they think they're going into the show, why it will lead to some drama, of course. So hopefully they come together and create something, halfway decent at least. Also love the inclusion of Sita from Sita's World. If you're from BET and if you watch BET and you're of a certain age, Sita used to bring the laughs, and she definitely is bringing a color commentary on this show. So yeah, but yeah, so if you want to if you're feeling nostalgic and want a little bit of the mess, that's the show for you. So all right, so let's get into our last video of the evening. This is an artist I came across on the Q Reviews, which is a great IG page, website, space for LGBTQ artists. They've shared a few of my tracks and give me a little spotlight, which I like. But this is a great track. This is from a Wild Black, and this is the song Moonstar Lover. So let's get into that. This is Wild Black with Moonstar Lover. That was wild. All right, that was Wild Black with Moonstar Lover. Uh, really great video. Um, very cinematic. Very up tempo, upbeat summertime bop, sort of fun. Actually, that song came out about a year and a half ago, but still great. Still a great song. New to me, probably new to you too. A few facts about Wild Black. Um, she fronted bands at the age of 15. She's got started in the Canadian music scene. She's an independent musician, songwriter, producer, performer. Previous projects include We Were Lovers, Radiation Flowers, from Chimpanzee to Chimpanzee. Great name. She's toured through Europe and North America. She's been South by Southwest, CMJ. She's also she's also open for Janelle Monáe, My Dream, Tegan and Sarah, and Metric. She's also played the first Afro Folk Music Festival in NYC. She's written a lot of songs in pop or in disco or rock and R&B. She's a multifaceted kind of artist. Definitely follow her on IG, Wild Black. Very talented, very creative artist. Just support her and see what she has coming up next. So I think actually what she has coming next, I came across it on IG. I think it's like more of a I want to say like more of a pop disc track, but I have to go back and check and see. But it's definitely like in the same like kind of upbeat sort of vein as Star Moon Lover. So Moonstar Lover, sorry. But anyway, that's Wild Black. Anyway, go again. If you had any artist who is doing really great creative work, visual, great music videos, or somebody you think that would be a great fit to talk to on the show, email me at afrosenseishow@gmail.com. Again, it's afrosenseishow@gmail.com. And also, I'll be debuting the Afro Sensei Show playlist. So for artists who maybe they have a great song, but they don't have a video to go with it yet, or they just don't have a video in particular, they can definitely email me links to their tracks. I listen to them. I can add them to the playlist, and I'll update the playlist monthly. So it'll be on the playlist for at least 30 days. Which as an artist, I know that's very trying to get on the playlist is it's a battle. And just knowing that you can be on the list, you'll be on the playlist for at least a month, and try to get a few more streams. It means a lot. So I'll be debuting soon. Any artists you know of, let them know. Send the tracks to me. I'll listen to them. If I feel it's a good fit for the playlist, I'll definitely add them. Primarily are LGBTQ artists, but definitely we trying to have it be a diverse playlist of genres. So yeah, definitely that'll be debuting soon. So be on the lookout for that. The next show will be on July 16th. Yes, because they say it'll be on July 16th, which actually will also be the day of the release of the remix of Supercow Swagalistic. So that's two fun things in one day. Like I said, a music video for that should be out soon. Next week for me, we'll be shooting another music video for the next single, Little Waves. Like I said, it has a whole 50s theme to it, and it'll definitely be more elaborate in terms of like location and story. So I'm really excited about that, and that'll be the next big thing that's happening. And like I said, for my album BGC, that will be out in August, towards the end of August. So I actually just took some the first series of photos for the album cover last weekend, which explains the new hairstyle, and I'll be taking the last bit of photos for that this Sunday. So that's all that stuff is happening and going on as well. So trying to even get any final things we didn't get to in terms of any pop culture talk. So I think we pretty much covered everything. It's a lot of stuff. I think all the big headlines is pretty much it. BG Awards, Cosby, Fitz Rashad, MJB documentary, the Encore, Brittany. I think that's pretty much a lot of stuff going on. Everybody, in the path of Elsa. Hopefully the hurricane calms down and weakens. So just stay safe with that. Stay out of the heat. Stay, if you can, try to stay cool. Be safe, and then guess until next time, Afro Sensei. This has been the Afro Sensei Show. Thank you for joining me. Thanks to all the artists that provide the videos. Thank you to Joe Work for sitting down with me and doing the interview. Great interview. And so thanks for everybody for tuning in. So I'll see you again on July 16th. So good night.